These people are on the bottom. I mean, he takes care of his people. Everybody has a roof over their head. It's just a different world, but they don't talk about that. I have Libyan people, Libyan friends that I've spoken to and emailed with, and from Libya on my Facebook. It's not like that, you know. It's these people. The gas is 17 cents a gallon. Come on. All right. So again, yes, of course. So now they're backing this this guy, but meanwhile, the entire justification for attacking Libya was that Gaddafi was engaging in egregious human rights violations against his people. So these people can do it. It's okay if you kill your people, but but it's not okay if you do it. And in fact, we're gonna incite people to make sure that it looks like you do it because we want your land. That's what's going on here, everybody. This is a land grabbing collectivism. This is why I'm here. This is why it's We Are Change with Howard Nema. Fridays 1 to 3, Saturdays 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time on informedradio.com. Give us a call. Come on. John called in before. Let's give a shout out to somebody else out there in the We Are Change community. We have people all over the world, everybody. We Are Change is worldwide. A shout out to my local chapter, We Are Change Connecticut, which is wearechangect.org. If you're a Connecticut resident, check it out. If you're not, go to wearechange.org. Click on the local link by you. Find out what's going on. Be the change that we need to see in the world. Be the change that we want. It's up to us. We can't just talk about it. I'm not sitting here talking. You think all I do is talk? I research. I explain things. I get involved. I go out there. I spread the news. You have to tell people what's going on. It's sort of like you go online. Hey, what's going on? Oh, not much. Hey, did you hear that Obama's going to Hawaii on Monday? Wow, no, I didn't. Yeah, you know why? He's going there because there's going to be a North American Union. Yeah, what's that? Well, they're going to take away the borders from Mexico and Canada, and everyone's going to get a new paycheck because it's going to be a better deal. They're going to give you $1. It's going to be cheaper, and everything will be better. And what do you think? Oh, that's great. Awesome, right? Because you like Obama, right? Oh, yeah. Anything he does has got to be right. So that's America. So you got to wake him up. You got to say, listen, you know what he's doing? Yeah. He's going there to take away the sovereignty of the United States, take away your rights, and make it more difficult for you to earn a living. Make it more difficult for you to, because he's going to say everybody's got to, to get a job, you have to have this card, and you have to pee in this cup, and you have to, sign your firstborn over to the state, and you can't have more than this many children. And this is where it's going, ladies and gentlemen. If you think I'm kidding, you're going to call a Pizza Hut like, it's Pizza Hut. Yeah, I'd like to have the meat special. I'm sorry, sir, you're 40 pounds overweight due to your recent MIB exam, and we're going to have to charge you an extra $10 because of the healthcare costs. Well, I don't want to pay an extra $10. I just want to have the meat special. No, you're not going to get the meat special. You're going to have to pay $10 for it. And then you're probably going to die because you should lose some weight. At least looking at this. What do you look like? What do you mean, what do I look like? What are you crazy? I want a goddamn pizza. I just want to pay for it. Who the hell, what do you know? Why do you care? Well, it just looks here on the record. This is what it's saying, and we're going to have to do this because this is part of the new regulations. Oh. Well, I don't have $10. Well, then you can get the regular vegetarian special. It's healthy, I think. Probably tastes like shit, though. Oh, I don't want something that tastes like shit. Well, I could piss on it. Maybe it'll help. Oh, man. Maybe I won't order anything. Well, then, if they don't do that, we're going to charge you $5 because you're calling in and not placing an order. That will be automatically debited from your chip. Enough comedy. But it's not funny. Sometimes I think somebody said it was comedy's not pretty. And it's really true. Especially since Guantanamo Bay costs $800,000 a year per detainee. Why don't you give me... listen, honestly, where this $800,000 is going, keeping somebody in a cage and feeding him grovel and having him walk around a pen and shower him and giving him, maybe 4 uniforms, costs $800,000. I don't know what to tell you. That's why we're in trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. The Miami Herald's Carol Rosenberg returned from Gitmo for an arraignment of the alleged U.S. coal bomber Abdul Rahman Nashiri. and figured out and got the information. So it's costing taxpayers $800,000 for each of the 171 captives the Obama administration is holding. Wow, 171. Well, 100 times, honestly, 100 is easy. That's simple. So almost, it's just unbearable in a half. So then you're looking at $800 million, 800, 950, almost $1 trillion, almost $1 billion. I meant $1 billion. Almost $1 billion, ladies and gentlemen, to keep this place running. Well, who's getting that money? Well, I gotta bet you that Halliburton's in there, and a whole bunch of other KMB, and all such other goodies like that. All members of the club. All right, Riverside, California. Things are so tough there that they have a shortfall of about 5 or 6 million. So they figured that they would charge the prisoners $142.42 per day of their prison stay on people that are, for example, listen to this, all the revenue-generating offenses, 10 days, up to 30 days, so all the people that have, like, drinking and driving, all that kind of stuff, they're going to have to pay. So 30 days at $140, do the mathematics. That's somebody's entire month's pay. The state, or this Riverside County, California, is going to take from prisoners. The fee comes as the California correctional system continues to struggle with budget woes. Last month, in an effort to save money, the state transferred responsibility for lower-level drug offenders, thieves, and other convicts to counties. The prison realignment is one of the many measures the state has taken in recent years to close its budget gap. Yeah, okay, $142 a day, and you didn't even do it. You didn't, like, rob somebody. You didn't, beat somebody. You didn't, you're not getting any hard time. No, you have a nice job. You have a house. You can tax your assets. We can take them away from you if you don't pay the $9,000. If you get, hey, imagine you get 90 days. I think it was up to 30 days if I remember reading. But if 30 days, see, 30 days at $200 is $6 grand. I mean, that's mathematics. So $5 grand. So what if you don't have $5 grand? Now you have a lien on your house for $5,000. Welcome to the New World Order. That's from Jill Berman at the Huffington Post. Oh, man. Judges are now grabbing kids in divorce cases. This is unbelievable. Now, I reported a couple of weeks back on one of the shows about DynCorp and the sex trafficking of children and the Berlin Turnpike here in Connecticut, and the sex trade, selling kids for $600-700 in a hotel room. They're kids that are going to high school and their parents don't know that they're prostitutes, and going on for it's been going on for a long time, and it's very underreported. And this actual information has escalated. Whereas if you know that many times it's been caught with the whole scandals with the Franklin scandal in Reagan's administration, bringing the boys to the White House, and this whole Bohemian Grove's satanic rituals, and Ted Gunderson's reports on DynCorp and the CIA, literally kidnapping children for the elite to torture and murder, and it's just horrible. And it's really true. It is true, ladies and gentlemen. Did a whole report on it. Look it up. Everything we say here is truth. This is Truth Talk Radio, where news the mainstream media ignores the top story and your voice is heard. Well, let's hear your voice. I'm here for another half an hour. It's just about another half an hour. This is We Are Change with Howard Nema. Give a call in, 772-905-3018. Again, that's 772-905-3018. We must be the change we wish to see in the world. So these judges are now doing crazy things. Like, again, the judge in Pennsylvania was caught, and he was convicted and sentenced to prison for taking a $2.5 million bribe from a private prison that worked for juveniles, to keep the juvenile prisons filled with kids that they run away from home, you get 90 days. You curse at your teacher, you get 2 weeks in jail. Stuff like that. And it really is true. It's on record. All of this stuff is on record. You can look at it. Ridiculous crimes, curfew violations, all this type of stuff. Liberty is just dead. They are just taking away rights and doing this to profit. and enslave the people. And then they're part of these cogs, and then they're compartmentalized. This guy's just an evil bastard, but it's a great example. They do this, this is part of the system. You think that he's the only one? 51% of the 51 prisons are in the United States. There are over 2.5 million people, 2.3 million, excuse me, people in prison in the United States. A third of them are in a prison. 70% of them are actually in there for nonviolent, victimless crimes. Only 33% are actually the really bad people. You could wipe down the population in a tremendous number if you just stopped this whole cog, this whole wheel of incarceration and further social deterioration, which is what this whole plan is about. That said, judges are now grabbing kids in divorce cases. I have a great court. This is a fucking judge telling his family. Now listen, I don't know about you out there, but my wife and I have had arguments in front of our children, my son. We have had arguments. We've argued together. We've screamed together. We've yelled. You know. It happens. It's not great. You don't want it to happen, but it is freedom of speech. It's part of that whole thing. She can yell at me, and I can yell at her. As long as I don't strike her or hurt her, there's no problem, right? We could say anything when it is. You know, it's like, it's not verbal abuse. You know, it's just, you get angry and you scream and you say, how the hell could you buy this? Or what the hell did you do that? Or whatever else. Life goes on, you know. Or you're such a pain in the ass. Why'd you come home so late? You know, you're supposed to get me waiting for an hour. People do that. That's life, okay? All right, maybe other people are, well, I can be calm and you can't. Well, good for you. Everybody, my point is, humans, you know, have differences of opinion and are heated about things all the time. So this couple's getting divorced, and obviously they're going to be having some hostile interactions. Now, I know many friends of mine, unfortunately, whose parents have divorced. I know friends of mine that have divorced themselves. And I'd like to know if you've never, as a divorced person, ever raised your voice or had a heated argument in front of the children. Did that ever not happen? Or did it more likely happen all the time? Of course, it happened more often than it wouldn't, because what are you going to do? If you're angry, you're hating each other maybe, or you're in a bad place, or maybe you have an amicable divorce, okay? But chances are, it's part of life, okay? It's part of interaction. So these two people don't get along. So the answer this judge comes up with in Kentucky, the answer this judge comes up with is, we're going to take your children and put it into our criminal foster system, okay? Where he is 5 times more likely to be sexually abused, 5 times more likely to end up becoming a criminal. And all of these other statistics that are out there, I'll give you some statistics on that. It's just crazy. Now, these kids have been gone for 2 months. Yeah, they're 8 times more likely to end up becoming a criminal if they're taken away from their parents. Now, no matter what, it's bad enough with a divorce, but these people are taken away, now they're divorced. They say that both of you parents, no good. Can't go to the daddy, can't go to the mommy. That's where they're going here with this thing. And it's more like those eugenics laws that they had, because the family courts really started as eugenics courts, and they were used to sterilize parents that were deemed unsuitable to have children by the state. Absolutely on record, and you can check this out. That happened up until the 1980s, all right? And it was curtailed later on, but it was going on until the 1980s. Curtailed earlier on, like in the 70s it came out, but they were still doing it up into the 80s. In fact, in North Carolina, they just passed an ordinance or a law or whatever, or restitution to the victims that were sterilized by this heinous, Malthusian, scientific dictatorship that's still in action. You think it went away? They're just doing it stealthily now through the vaccines and the food and everything else. It's even worse, attacking more people and different people. Anyway, this judge grabbed these kids. You got to listen to this. Check out this. I have the entire the judge talking to the parents and everything. It's just unbelievable. Here, everybody, this is a land-grabbing collectivism. This is why I'm here. This is why it's We Are Change with Howard Nema. Fridays 1 to 3, Saturdays 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time on informedradio.com. Give us a call. Come on. John called in before. Let's give a shout. Somebody else out there. These people are on the bottom. I mean, he takes care of his people. Everybody has a roof over their head. It's just a different world, but they don't talk about that. I have living friends that I've spoken to and emailed with, and from Libya on my Facebook. There in the We Are Change community, we have people all over the world. Everybody, We Are Change is worldwide. A shout out to my local chapter, We Are Change Connecticut, which is wearechangeCT.org. If you're a Connecticut resident, check it out. If you're not, go to We Are Change. Justification for attacking Libya was that Gaddafi was engaging in egregious human rights violations against his people. So these people can do it. It's okay if you kill your people, but but it's not okay if you do it. And in fact, we're gonna incite people to make sure that it looks like you do it because we want your land. That's what's going on. It's not like that, you know. It's these people. The gas is 17 cents a gallon. Come on. All right. So again, yes, of course. So now they're backing this this guy, but meanwhile the entire